Leo Laporte, a call for help. May I help you?
Hi, welcome to Call for Help. Oh, don't scare the cat. Basil, did you bring your cat in today? Go ahead, you can. Come on, Daddy. Oh, you go. Oh. No, don't jump off of there. You're too old to jump off of there. This is Andrew's cat. We're just going to let her wander around. She actually likes to live in the back there in the condominiums. She's like little Godzilla cat, and she sleeps on top of the condominiums there. Go on, Rue. You can go back.
So she's, instead of our mascot, she's our mascat.
Oh, I like it. Our mascot. Hey, welcome to Call for Help. This is the show where we help you get the most out of your personal confuser. And we talk technology and personal technology and having fun with my great co-hosts. On my left, Monica Latanwa. And the bad girl, I see, number 9. Bad girl number 9. Yes. And bad boy number 1, Andy Walker over here. He's number 1.
He's number 1.
Every day we help you with your personal confuser. If you go to callforhelptv.com, you can be on the show and ask your questions. That's what we like to do here. I have a question. I'm new, as you know, we're new to Toronto, and I'm learning the Canadian way. What the heck is bubble tea? What is bubble tea?
You see it all over Chinatown here in Toronto, don't you?
Bubble tea. Yeah. Bubble tea.
It's like iced latte with tapioca in it.
Yeah.
But it's tea. Tea, milk, and tapioca?
It comes in all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
It could be a hot or warm drink, or it could be a cold drink. But yeah, it's a tapioca.
Because I'm afraid to order it until I know exactly what it is. But everywhere I go, they have. And I become a tea drinker. I was a coffee drinker, but the tea here is very good. So
we find
look at little Rue. She's just a sweet little. I thought the cat was nuzzling me. What are you doing down there, Mikey?
God.
Oh my goodness! Is my computer
Mikey.
dead?
What are you doing?
The computer's dead. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's. Monica's going to do Firefox extensions today. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Okay, that's good. I like that. Everybody wants that. That's good.
Leo, even during the week when we're not in the studio, he's still crawling out of my desk off in the office.
Hey, do you have any more of those cat treats I could feed him? Maybe. Do you like salmon or liver, Mikey?
I don't know if I... Oh, here we go.
He's so cute.
Here you go.
Oh, he's really cute. Here you go. Just okay. Good boy. Okay.
Oh,
good boy.
yeah.
That's a good boy. Okay, get out of here. Also, Andy, you got actually something very cool. Those thumb drives that hold your password. They're actually ways to keep all your private stuff private, and you can remove it.
Yeah, instead of keeping all the user IDs and passwords here, you keep them in here.
This is something I want. Plus, our web expert, Amber MacArthur, our usability queen, is here. She's going to show you a little bit more about how to make your website more usable, easier to navigate. This stuff is great. It's just really inspired me to kind of get in there and start to redesign everything. I kind of miss Mikey now that he's gone. Let's get our first call of the day on the show. And who would that be, Moniki?
That would be Jeff from Pickering, Ontario.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing great, Leo. How are you?
I'm very well. What can I do for you today?
Well, I had a quick question for you. I'm a grade 7 teacher.
Oh, that's neat.
And I wanted to build and maintain a website for my classroom.
Right.
So I have a Mac.
Okay.
And I have a .Mac account.
Okay.
And so I'm going to use this address, but I wanted to add my own personal touch to the site in addition to the templates that they have.
So you were using the existing homepage templates with iPhoto or
yeah, there's some education resources there.
Oh, that's
Homework
neat.
Page and then about the teacher.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's great.
There's some great stuff there. So I have a 12-inch PowerBook running with
so
10.
Do I. Yes.
And I want to find a way to make some personalized web pages using something that I don't have to learn any code.
I'm going to tell you the best program. Do you mind spending a little money?
No,
I know a teacher doesn't have unlimited funds, but this isn't too expensive. Normally, I recommend Macromedia's Dreamweaver. It's the king of web design tools. It's a what you see is what you get web editor. That means it's, you kind of just put stuff there and it does all the HTML for you. Now, it's expensive. It's hundreds of dollars. I'm not going to recommend it. I'm going to recommend something that's actually better for what you want to do. Okay. You can start with the existing templates, all of the stuff, because all of that's just plain old HTML web design. And then there's a program from the same company called Contribute.
Okay.
And Contribute is around $80 US, $100 Canadian. It's not very expensive. You could try it free for 30 days, make sure we do what you want to do. But best of all, it's designed to use with .Mac. You can use it with any site, but it actually has a .Mac button.
Okay.
So it couldn't be easier. You don't have to know anything about uploading. You don't have to know anything about configuring. It just knows. You just say, this is my .Mac account. It'll automatically allow you to edit existing templates and do anything you want. It's very powerful. And it has another feature that may or may not be of use to you. It's called Contribute because it's designed for multiple users.
Okay.
It's almost really designed for schools. I don't know if that was the intent. It doesn't say that specifically, but I think in a way it might have been. It would be great. You know, you'd obviously want to create either a separate .Mac account for the kids,
yeah,
or you know, something so they don't mess with your homework assignments.
Yeah.
But if you had a separate .Mac account for them, they could do their own websites and contribute. And I think it would be so much fun for them. And because it's a collaborational tool, it has lots of nice features so that they don't get in each other's way.
Sure.
I highly recommend it. I think it's a really great choice. And you don't have to learn HTML or anything like that.
That's the best part, and the part I wasn't looking forward to.
No. Although, you know, I'll tell you the truth, and I'm sure Amber would agree with me down the road. Eventually, it's nice to know a little bit of HTML, so then you can look at the page, and if it's not doing exactly what you expect, you can look at it and say, oh, I see why.
Right.
But you don't need to do that, and Contribute will get you there. It's at macromedia.com, and as I said, there's a 30-day trial. I would highly recommend it.
Well, school's starting soon, so I'll get on the trial and see what's up.
Now, Jeff, what's your specialty? What do you focus on?
Well, everything from history and geography to math and phys ed.
Oh, you do it all.
You know, I do a little bit of everything.
You're not a homeroom teacher. You do.
I am a homeroom teacher,
okay.
and I teach the history and geography.
Oh, that's so
and
great.
phys ed. But I have a passion for technology.
That's great.
I'm a big Mac user, so I want to, share some of that knowledge and get the kids interested in technology and. You know, maybe get them to watch your show.
Well, that would be great, too. I'd appreciate that, Jeff. And I bow down to you because I'll tell you what, there is no more important job in the world than the teachers.
Yep.
And you really, I know it's sometimes a little bit of a sacrifice, but you really making a difference, so we thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, Jeff. Enjoy your new year.
Thanks very much, and enjoy yourself as well.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
Okay,
I got Mikey.
care.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. Coming up in just a bit, you got too many passwords. We're going to show you how to keep them safe and sound in a little tiny USB key you could take anywhere with you. Don't go away. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. One of the biggest hassles in keeping track of your websites and your bank code numbers and all that stuff is all these passwords you've got to keep track of. And I think, truthfully, people don't make up good passwords because it's so hard to remember a good password. So they use the same password on everything, and they use their pet's name or their kid's name, and it's completely insecure. Well, now there's a better way. You can have good passwords and keep them secure with a little USB key. Andy has the scoop for us.
I do. I came across this, which is very, very cool. It's called a MetaPass. It's going to come.
We should explain that these little things are just little flash memory like you'd get in a camera with a USB connector on one end, and you just plug them into the USB port and they show up as a drive on the system.
That's right.
You're going to see them everywhere.
Let me show you how it works.
Okay, this is cool. So this is not just a regular old drive.
No. I mean,
something more
you
here.
potentially could use it. It's got software on it, though, which is kind of very cool.
Okay.
I have to bend down for a second, so excuse me a second.
So he's going to plug it into the USB port. We were talking about this. I mean, the prices on these is falling so rapidly. Everybody has them. In fact, people are starting to give them away at conferences. Wherever you go, you go to a concert nowadays. There's a nightclub in New York State that will record the audio from the concert on a USB key, and for $10 you take the key home and it's got the audio on it.
That's very
amazing. Cool. So you've plugged it in.
So I've plugged it in.
And in fact, look, it's popped up on the screen.
It's actually suddenly appeared on my screen. So let's go to it, and I'm going to...
It says this MetaPass is locked.
Locked. I've already preset it with it. The password that I use, basically you need one password to get into it. And then all of your passwords, you basically can create a different password configuration for every resource you use, either a program you get into or a website you get into. And, I haven't put my banking information on here because of the television, but you could do that. And
anything you want.
Anything you want.
Well, show us how you'd add a password here.
So we're going to click on the Add button here, which is right up here. Why? Looks like our screen's frozen here. But anyway.
No!
Oh, let me...
Freeze button on
Come on, Mikey. Come here.
It's back. Okay, we're all right. So let's go cancel that for a second. I'm going to start on the Add button right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to add. And I'm going to choose an icon to represent, so maybe my banking information. And
that's neat.
And I'm also going to name it,
Okay.
Andy Bank. And I'm going to say next. And then I'm going to type in my user ID.
Oh, I'm getting this. This is so cool. Now, I use software to do this on the desktop, but what's great about this is it goes with you on that key.
It does.
And it doesn't stay on the desktop. It doesn't stay with the computer so somebody could work on it. It's in your pocket.
Well, you would actually, I would actually attach it to my key ring.
Yeah.
Although don't lose your keys, right?
Right.
But so I set up a couple of profiles here, but, Hotmail, for example, is a great one, or any of the web-based emails.
Right.
Because you can, just double-click on it. And what happens is it opens up a web browser, takes you to the website.
Oh, it actually logs in.
And actually logs you in.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, you are slick.
Isn't that clever?
Oh, I like that.
So can you imagine having dozens and dozens, and I do, of passwords and user IDs, even for your router, you're administrating your wireless router.
Right.
Bingo.
Very slick.
Everything can go on this.
And it's all password protected with one master password. They should put it on something like this. This is a thumb drive, a drive that has thumbprint recognition.
Called the Thumb Drive Touch.
Yeah, and that's kind of a neat idea. So only you could use it because you put your thumb on here, and then it would log you in.
And it recognizes.
Yeah.
That's right. So actually, that protects your computer resource from
Even more.
else. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Even if you gave the password was discovered, nobody would be able to get in. Well, this is a good idea. Now, there is one issue. What if you lose that little drive?
You're in trouble.
Yeah, because all your passwords
Watch out.
are in there. Can you back up the software off the drive? Can you back up the file, the database, so that you don't lose it?
Yes, of course. No, I don't know. I
I'm sure
haven't gotten
you
that
can.
Does it probably can.
I mean, does the drive itself show up? Can you see the drive itself?
Yeah, it shows up as the iDrive.
And so I could probably copy this data,
you can either install this program, actually, when you get an option to install it onto the computer, or to leave it on the key itself.
So I would recommend that if you have a computer that's secure, you copy it over there. But this would be great for going to an internet cafe.
Yeah.
Just double-click, boom, boom,
Right.
and you're in. Yeah. How much is that?
It's about $100.
Does that,
US,
for how big a drive?
I think it's
128?
64, 128, something like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's really going to be dedicated to just that task.
Yeah, although, what's interesting is this company, MetaPass, is trying to promote the key as something for employees to use. So you could buy them in batch, and so if you buy hundreds and hundreds of them, you get a good deal.
These US keys, we're going to see all sorts of uses for these USB keys. I think they're going to take off. You were saying you're going to see them in cereal boxes, and I think that's probably true. Remember calculators, when they first came out, thousands of dollars. Now they're giveaways.
Yes, they are.
They're worthless. And this is even simpler. Really, it's just a chip with a housing.
It is.
I could see these being
terabytes at one point.
Yeah.
You know that. I mean, I already keep my entire life on my key ring.
And who would have predicted that? Nobody.
Wasn't in the Jetsons.
No, it wasn't in the Jetsons.
No.
For more on MetaPass and their USB key that holds all your passwords, visit the show notes. callforhelptv.com. That's cool.
It's cool.
I hear the doorbell. George Jetson. Maybe Rosie's going to come and give us the quiz today. Our quiz question of the day. You ready? What is abandonware? Is it those old computers at the dump? The clothing store where I shop? Abandoned software? Or nudist beach where everyone has abandoned everything they wear? Get to the website, give us the answer, and we'll talk about it a little later on as Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. Are you looking for an easy way to make MSN Messenger a little more personal? Well, Andy's got a program for you on today's free file of the day. One of our most popular products here on Call for Help. But one of the things we like to do best is take more of your calls. You got one for us, Monster?
I do. We have Jared from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
That's not an easy thing to say.
I know. Say it 5 times.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Hello, Jared.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
One of my favorite people in the world that I worked with, I think, came from Saskatoon. And
It's a good place.
Is it a nice place? Yeah, Michaela Pereira, I believe, of a former Tech TV co-worker came from there. What can I do for you, Jared?
I have a Windows XP machine, and I was wondering how I could set up a home web server.
You want to have your own web server on it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. And what kind of stuff would you put on there?
I don't know. It wouldn't be much of a site, like...
A little personal site?
Yeah.
Okay. What you need to do is put, as you figured out, a web serving program on there. Now, the key on that is it does add some security issues. What kind of internet access do you have, Jared?
We're just going to get broadband.
Okay. That's good. You'll need high-speed internet access. Some broadband providers will prevent you from offering a server. So you'll have to ask them.
Yeah, I've asked them.
And they said it's okay if you have a server. Often it's easiest if you have a high-speed internet provider to use their web server and their hard drive and so forth. Almost every internet service provider will offer you free web space. That'll be your website. And it might be easier to do that. On the other hand, I don't blame you for wanting to have your own thing. And it's a good way to learn how all of this stuff works, and all that stuff. So let me see. My computer is all hung up right now, so I think I cannot show you anything here. But I'm going to recommend a program. I can't, alas. I'm going to recommend a program from a friend of mine, old programmer called Analog X. And his website is analogx.com. And if you go there, he has a free software, and he has a very simple web server on there. In fact, it's called Simple Server. It's for Windows. And it makes it very easy to make your own website. Okay. So that's what I would recommend. It's most big websites run on Apache or Microsoft's Internet Information Server. They're big, complicated, elaborate programs, and they add all sorts of security problems. Let's see if this is working now. No, it's dead in the water. I think it's the computer itself. Anyway, that's all right. I don't need to show you. You can just go there, analogx.com, download a Simple Server. It installs. There's nothing to it. It's just a small little program, sits on the hard drive, and what you'll do is you'll drag the folder you want to serve onto that. Okay.
Is it free?
It's free. Okay. Now, the key on this is what you're going to have to do is tell your friends what your internet address is.
Is there a way I can get a website instead of the IP?
Well, not easily on your home server. In order to do that, you'd have to run a DNS server. It's a little bit more complicated. That's why I recommend generally that you go to your web host and say, or your ISP and say, can you host? Because it's much simpler. However, you can, with a program called DynDNS at dyndns.org, you can use, they have a little program that will allow you, even if your DNS, if your IP address changes, it'll allow you to have a static IP address, or at least a way for your friends to get to you pretty quickly. But it's not going to be like, Jared.com, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want Jared.com, you're going to have to shell out a little money, go to a web hosting company or a domain provider. You have to register a domain name, then get a web host and all that stuff. And that's going to cost you a little bit of money. And I know you don't want to spend any money, right?
No.
No. So this is what I would do. I would get Simple Server, put it on there, and you just have to tell your friends the address. Just say it's a secret. I got my secret address, 192.168.1.1.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to surf in. Now, if you're going to put a router on your system in order to spread the internet to more than one computer in the house, you planning on doing that?
Not really.
Okay, good. Then that sometimes can provide a block. In order for you to have a server on the inside of a router, you have to do something called port forwarding. Punch a hole in the router so that server can be seen. Then it gets really complicated. But you know what, Jared? I'm encouraging you to do all this stuff. You know why? This is how you learn. What grade are you in?
I'm in grade 8.
That's great. I mean, the best possible way to learn about all this stuff is to do it, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead, start your first website. Start it on a server. Use Simple Server. It'll be easy to get started. And then as you grow, you go, oh, maybe I do need a web host. Maybe I do need Jared.com, and you can expand out. But it's best to start simple and grow from there.
Okay.
Hey, good luck. That's great. And you're just going to have
I'm a really big fan, and I've been watching since I was about 10 or 9.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's so nice, Jared. And now you're a big geek, aren't you?
Sort of.
I'm proud of you. Good going. When you grow up, what do you want to do for a living?
I don't have a clue.
Good. Don't decide yet.
Neither do we.
We still are trying to figure it out. Thanks for the call, Jared.
Thanks.
Okay, take care. Are you looking for an easy way to make MSN Messenger a little more personal? Well, let's head on over to Andy's side of the bench, because he's got a free file of the day that's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is the thing that crashed my computer.
Is that right?
I'm not going to say anything, but I noticed MSN Messenger on there. I don't know. Well, this is what? This is a way of modifying your MSN Messenger?
This is sort of to take it from what it is and make it bigger and better.
Yeah.
It's like more steroids.
Does it come from Microsoft?
No, it's by a third party. Somebody.
It's a way to upgrade. Because I know it's called Messenger Plus, and Microsoft offers those Plus packs for Windows that allow you to do more stuff with Windows.
No, it's msgplus.net or something. It's not affiliated at all with Microsoft.
It's not affiliated with Microsoft. In fact, here's the website.
Here's the website here. Yeah.
Messenger Plus.
Messenger Plus. So what it does, it kind of does all the things you wished Messenger would do. So and stuff you don't really care about, but it's fun anyway.
All right.
So let's. This is just the website. I'm going to get rid of that for a second.
It's a dancing website.
When you install it, and I just did because it crashed halfway through that last call. It adds a little menu item called plus exclamation mark right here. And what's neat is you get all kinds of amazing options.
Holy cow!
And the reason I had to reinstall it was actually because I put it in boss mode. And I couldn't get it out of boss mode.
Boss mode is what for? So don't put it in there.
No, I won't. I'm just going to click over and I'll show you where. So it's basically it's a control. It's a shortcut.
Oh, that'll hide it.
That'll hide your messaging conversation.
It's not just for the boss. It's for mom and dad too. I can tell you right now.
That's right.
That's who it's real. That's who the boss is. All right.
One of the things I really like about this program, though, it has POP3 email. So you have an address. I have Andy at callforhelptv.com, and I'll go in and actually configure it. And it'll actually tell me how many messages are on the server.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's, because it already does it for Hotmail.
Right.
But so Messenger Plus lets you do it with it for
regular mail.
Regular
that's
mail,
great.
Right?
That's great.
There's other things. Message helpers, for example. If you have a catchphrase that you use, you could actually enter it into the message helpers area, and so with a quick key. So here, for example, it says
your catchphrase.
Well, it's not mine. This is a default one. But me slaps you with a large smelly tuna fish.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that a fun kind of little
That's
thing?
an old IRC saying.
Is it?
So yeah. So how do you invoke that?
So what happens is there's a slash, and you type, in this case, slap. But you could,
So you type /slap, and
slap,
it will say that?
And it will say that automatically. It's just a shortcut.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Oh, I like that. Can you do a bunch of those or just one?
Yeah, you can, I think, up to 50.
Oh, that's really handy.
So, in fact, I think there are 50 preloaded or so.
Oh,
No,
that's
three
great.
preloaded, but you could do a whole bunch of them.
Oh, I love it.
And then you can modify your contact list. You can customize a sound for each person you know, so that if you go ta-da, it's your dad, and if it's, it's your ex-girlfriend.
I just hope she's not watching. That's all I can say.
That's right.
That's very cool.
That's good.
So it's Messenger Plus. Is it free?
It is free.
No, I don't understand. Explain to me why they would give this away. This is a really nice program. Somebody spent a lot of time writing it. They've got a big website.
There's a lot of people out there that are great. That are
just generously
are generous,
donating their time.
Yes, programmers
Very
that have a
cool.
lot of time on their hands, perhaps.
What's the website for it again?
msgplus.net.
All right, msgplus.net. Or you know what? Easiest website to remember, our website. Callforhelptv.com.
There you go.
All the free files of the day are there. Coming up, you've got a website. Jared's got his new website. He's all excited. He wants everybody to come there. How do you promote your website? Our web workshop's coming up. Amber MacArthur's here to show us how. Stay right here. What is this?
I know, I need to cut that off.
Not to be removed except by end user. That's you.
I haven't
You could
removed
take it off now. It's like
I'm
the
listening
mattress
to
tags.
it.
Do you have mattress tags in Canada?
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah.
do not remove under penalty of law.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go, well, can I ever take this off?
Well,
I
see,
think-
I'm a bad girl. So
You took
take
yours
them off?
off.
Yeah, it says not to be removed except by user.
I guess I can remove
all
it.
it is saying, this is a plug. It could kill you. It's silly. Anyway, we're very safe here in Canada. I want to welcome Amber MacArthur, our web workshop maven, who is going to show us the latest web techniques. She, of course, is an expert on web usability and works for iPrimate.com. Amber, welcome back. Good to
Thank
have
you very much. Actually, what we're going to talk about today, we had a viewer who wrote in. His name is Alan Scahill, and he wrote in about his website, which is called deliheights.ca.
People really are submitting their sites to you. That's great.
Actually, it's deli-heights.ca.
Okay.
So what we're going to talk about is how to promote a small business website, and I'm going to give you 5 simple tips that are actually free ways to promote a site.
Too bad he's in Alberta, because I could use a sandwich.
I know. It's making me hungry just looking at it.
I know. But that is a big problem. You spend a lot of time and money and energy making a website, and nobody comes.
Yeah, it's people always say if you build it, they will come. Well, it's not the case on the web.
No, because how do they find it?
How do they find it? Exactly. But there's lots of free ways that you can promote your site, so we're going to go into some of those.
I guess the first way people find it is by searching for it.
Searching, yeah.
How do you get on the search engines?
That's one of the things we're going to talk about. You can submit to free search engines like Google. You can go in and you can submit your site.
Oh, so you can go to Google and say,
Exactly.
List me?
Yeah, you can say list me, but you won't get listed necessarily. You won't come up in the findings right away. So you need to actually do other things. So it's not just one thing that you have to do to promote your site. There's a bunch of different things.
Right.
So we're going to give you 5 of the easiest ways to do that.
Great.
The first thing we're going to talk about is how to add a signature file to your email.
Great.
If you communicate a lot with your customers via email, you should make sure to include a link at the bottom of your email to your website. I know it's a simple thing,
No, but that makes sense.
you have
of course.
to do it.
And I bet a lot of people don't do it.
A lot of people don't do it.
Yeah,
And
put the URL in the mail.
exactly. So put it in your mail. So if you're in Outlook, it's really easy to create an email signature. Go in, you can format that, and you can add a URL to your site so that everybody who sees it, I mean, we all do it. We get emails, and then we click on the website because you want to know what that person's all about. So make sure that you do that.
And make sure you put http:// because some email clients won't let you click on it unless you do that.
Exactly. Some that are only text, they only read text emails.
Right.
You'll have to actually copy and paste that. So make sure that you do the HTTP.
Full URL.
Do the full URL. So, for example, Alan would put Delhi, the whole URL, http:// and then his URL to Delhi Heights.
Put it in your email sig. That's number
Yeah,
one.
that's the number one thing. The number 2 thing is to share and post your URLs with family and friends, and also some of your partners
Colleagues.
or suppliers.
Yeah,
Colleagues, exactly.
yeah.
So talk to your friends and family and people who you do business with and say, you know, you'll post their URL on your site if they post yours on their site. So it's like an
Absolutely.
exchange program.
I highly recommend that.
That's very important.
And if you're in a hobby or a specialty, say you collect comic books, go around to the other comic book sites and say, let's exchange links.
Exactly. So, try to find as many people as possible who you can share URLs with. Right. And you can even, for example, on this site, Delhi Heights, Alan could go and he could create a section that says partners and friends of Delhi Heights.
Not in Alberta? Where else can you get a sandwich?
Exactly. He can just post all of the URLs
That's
there.
a great
So that's
idea.
another really easy thing to do.
That'll also help you with Google, as we'll see later
That will
on.
help you with Google as well.
Yeah.
Also, the third thing is to add your URL to all your print materials.
Okay.
And that includes your business cards and any flyers you do or any type of advertising. It's a great place for you to do promotions on your website. It's free, and you can always push people to the website because you're able to change that a lot easier than any kind of print material.
I'm starting to see a trend here. I guess it's basically when you're doing any kind of marketing, piggyback on it, put your website on there.
Yeah, understand that your website can be one of your main marketing vehicles and throw people to it as much as possible and exchange the URL. Another way is to add your URL to search engines like Google, and you can add it. It's free.
Yahoo,
Alta Vista, and it can help you to come up in the searches that are done by other people, and the interlinking with other websites will help that as well.
Now, of course, that only gets you listed. It doesn't get you at the top of the list.
No, it doesn't, but it should help a little bit. Everything that you do will help a little bit. To get at the top of the list, you have to do things like make sure your meta tags, which are tags within the code, have keywords that refer to your business, and you have to do that and then exchange URLs and things like that.
The best way to get on Google, in fact, the only way to get high up on Google is have other sites linked to you.
Other sites linked to you.
How they rank you is based on the quality of the sites that link to you.
Exactly. That's why exchanging the URLs with a lot of other people is the most important thing.
Very, very important.
And the fifth thing we're going to talk about is to add your URL to local directories in your city or town. For example, in Toronto, people often go to toronto.com to find information. You could go to, he's in Medicine Hat, so I'm sure there's some kind of local community directory where he can go and he can get listed for free. So just send them an email and say, hey, I want you to know I'm one of the deli suppliers in this area, so can you post my URL on your website?
I bet they charge sometimes for that.
Sometimes they do charge. A lot of them do charge, but he could do a search on Google and check out, tourism, Medicine Hat, and find some of the top sites that come up, and then ask them, if they have restaurant listings to post his URL and use some of the free ones. And if he wants to cough up the money, he can, get posted on other sites.
I go to the Best of Medicine Hat all the time. It's a wonderful site.
Everybody's got to go to Medicine Hat.
Best of Medicine Hat. Yeah. If it's not Medicine Hat, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So those are 5 really basic things that you can do to get your site out there. And just always talk about your URL and all of your marketing.
You left out one really good one. That's to get Leo to mention it on Call for Help.
Yeah.
Like AmberMac.com.
Oh, he just did that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
That's probably the best one.
To know more about Amber and get her marketing tips, go to AmberMac.com. That's her website.
Yep.
And, of course, iPrimate.com is the company that she works for, where she does consulting just like this to help people get more out of their websites. Our show notes have all of the web workshops to date, and, of course, lots more to come at callforhelptv.com. Now, we're going to answer some more calls and some more questions in just a bit, so you stay right here. Call for Help continues. Hi, welcome back to Call for Help. You know, I was just thinking maybe I should set up my own website here, and I thought I'd just do this really quickly with Simple Server. It really is an easy thing to do. I'm going to I've downloaded the Simple Server software. We were talking to Jared a little bit earlier, and I'm going to make a folder here that's going to be called My Site. And inside My Site, I'm just going to put a very simple HTML document that we're going to call index.html. And I'm going to save that into My Site. And there we go. And it's just going to say Hello World. There's the little HTML. And then what's so cool about this program is I've put by the way, there's AnalogX's website and the Simple Server program, analogx.com. So this is the Simple Server program. I've just put it on the desktop over here on the left over here, Charles. And what I'm going to do is, all I have to do is drag the folder My Site to the Simple Server, and it's serving it.
Surely you can't be serious.
Yes, I am. And please, don't call me Shirley. So now by pressing Start, I'm actually serving the website. Let's actually do that again because I have to drag that. There we go. That's the thing. Now I want to start. It's invalid. What's wrong with that? Oh, I might have to set it a little bit differently. Now, this is my IP address on this computer. And, of course, because we're behind a router, it's a local 192.168.1.100, and that means you're not going to be able to get to it from the outside world. Let me try this one more time.
So don't even try.
There we go. So don't even try. And there we go. Unable to start server. Check server log for details. We'll have to figure, it's probably not liking the fact that I'm behind a firewall. That might have something to do with it. But that's how easy it is, Jared. You will have to give your friends that number right at the top of the screen. That's your IP address. But because it puts it right on the top of the screen, it's pretty easy for you to just call them up and say, hey, Joe, come to my website. And you couldn't make an easier web server. I mean, there's just nothing easier than Simple Server. Now we got a phone call going. Let's get another caller on the air. Monica, who's ringing us?
Baring. We've got Bobette from Payson, Utah.
Hello, Bobette. How are you?
I'm doing great, Leo.
Welcome.
We miss you out here.
Yeah, I know. You know, I miss Utah, too. We're doing the show here in Canada, of course, and it's available all over Canada, but we haven't yet got it sold in the States. We will. We will. There's a lot of interest, and I think it's just a matter of time. Yeah. Well, Bobette, just write your local cable channel and say, whatever happened to Leo? Can't you get that show on the air? I like that show.
I've written many a note, so hopefully
thank you. Bless you, Bobette. Thank you so much. What can I do for you in return?
Well, I am thinking ahead to Christmas.
Yes.
And I am trying to decide between something like a TiVo or Replay, the Replay TV, or getting something like a DVR, where you just, and I was wondering what the differences and advantages would be between them.
Oh, so you're trying to figure out what kind of hard drive recorder to get. Now, this is just your way of getting revenge on Canada.
Very much so.
Because they can't buy a TiVo or a Replay, and you know perfectly well that I'm going to say, buy a TiVo or a Replay.
Well,
because now I have tried, and Dish has PVRs. Many cable companies offer them. They're all really kind of the same idea. You know, they all have a hard drive in there, and they have mostly the same capabilities. You can pause TV, like if you want to get up and answer the door and have a chat, and then come back and pick up where you left off. They'll all let you do that. Almost all of them let you record shows, but some of them make it easier than others. For instance, one of the things I really like about Replay and TiVo is they have a very nice directory of shows. You can surf around. You can press the record button. It just says, great, I'll record that show for you. It's so much easier than programming a VCR. And they also have some additional features which make it even better. For instance, TiVo has a wish list. If I am a Charles Bronson fan, I can enter on my wish list, just record anything that Charles Bronson's in anytime, because I'm going to want to watch it. And TiVo's smart enough to check all the listings for me all the time and get that Charles Bronson. And that's the kind of little feature, they're called those wish lists, that are so great on TiVo that I don't see on a lot of the other digital video recorders. They're just not as capable. Replay has some features that nobody else has. Replay has the ability to plug in an Ethernet cable, and if you have more than one Replay device around the house, share whatever's recorded on one Replay with any of those other TVs in the house that have Replays attached. Nobody else does that.
Samsung's going to do it soon.
Is Samsung going going to do it?
This year, yeah. Samsung's just decided.
Now, I wonder if they're going to license their TiVo or replay technology, or they're going to do their own thing.
Sounds to me, when I talked to them, it sounded like they were working on their own technology.
Yeah. TiVo has really been in it for the longest, and they really have figured out the user interface. I think they're the easiest to use. Replay has more functionality than either. How do you get your television now, Bobette? Is it through...
Actually, I get it over the dish right now.
The dish.
And I think the thing that always stood in the way was the extra $10 a month that the TiVo or even Dish wants.
And for the directory, and I don't blame you. Yeah, and almost all of them do that. The only way to get around that is actually to build your own out of a computer, and I don't recommend that, frankly. It costs much more in the long run to do that than to pay that $10 a month fee. Dish has a very nice PVR. In fact, the newest one, the 921, is one of the few that records high-definition television. So
that would be nice.
If you have to get an HD TV dish, but if you have HD TV, boy, the ability to record it, and I'm not just saying record it in exactly the same quality as original. It looks great. I have to say, for functionality, the Dish PVR isn't great, but for that HD TV recording, it's wonderful. TiVo also makes one like that. Yeah. I gotta
wonder if Rogers, our home company, which has a cable division, isn't using the same one. I'm on their website now, and they say that they have an HD PVR.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Make sure if you're going to get an HD PVR that you get one with a lot of capacity. 260 gigabyte hard drive is not too small. It's really about 10 gigabytes per hour of programming. So even if you have a 250 gig hard drive, that's only 25 hours of programming. That's not a whole lot.
That isn't very much to
eat. It's a tough choice, and I think you should probably just try them. Since you already have Dish, there is an advantage to having something that works directly with your satellite dish. If you went out and bought a TiVo or a Replay, you'd have to have this kind of kludgy setup where there's an infrared attachment that goes over the front of the dish box, or maybe a cable that's connected to the dish box, and it's just too much trouble, I think. So, since you've already got Dish, if you're going to stick with Dish, I would go ahead and get the Dish PVR.
Okay.
All right.
That certainly answers the question.
And call Charlie Ergen and say how much you like Call for Help in Canada.
Well, I intend to write him. I was at Leoville yesterday, and
that's great. Well, about that, Charlie's always
about that, so.
Charlie's always been a huge fan. He's a good friend. I love him, and I think Dish is the greatest. And we're just trying to get on somewhere down underneath the 49th parallel? Yeah, we want to get down below 49. And maybe you can see us someday soon. Thank you, Bob.
Well, I hope so.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Great to talk to you.
Great.
Hey, one more chance to take our daily quiz now. I want to ask you this question, see if you know the answer. What is abandonware? Is it an old computer at the dump, a clothing store, abandoned software, or a nudist beach where they've abandoned everything they wear? Get to the website. Give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked what abandonware was. I like the nudist beach answer, but I'm afraid not.
I was going for that, too.
Abandoned software. It's really software that, sometimes people really want. It happens a lot with video games, especially arcade games. The company's gone, doesn't support it anymore. Maybe they still own the copyright, but they've kind of essentially abandoned it. And really, a lot of people are trying to save some of these great old, especially computer and video games, because they're part of our heritage, A play doesn't run on Broadway anymore. It doesn't mean you throw the script out.
Behind you.
Yeah, I know. We've got
those. Pac-Man and asteroids and all that stuff. I love that thing. What is that thing?
I don't know.
It's called a
Videotrex.
It's an old video game, but it was kind of interesting. It was vector graphics like the old asteroids. One of our crew members, Dave, brought it in, and boy, I love it. Look at that. That looks like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was playing that earlier. Actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
It was. It's kind of weird to get a handle of the controller, but once you get the hang of it, it's.
Came out in the early 80s.
Yeah, wow.
So, it's time for Monsters Clicks.
Yes, I've got a couple of extensions to feature today.
We love Firefox.
Yeah.
We're going to add some more features to it.
Yep.
That's one of the best parts of Firefox.
I think so. This got some really neat extensions, and one of which is my favorite. But that's the second one I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is called Webmail Compose.
All right.
So if you come upon a website with a link to an email, so you can contact so-and-so, most of the time when you click on it, your operating system...
You get an email client.
So,
usually Outlook or Outlook Express.
Right?
Yeah.
Which can still work if you middle-click on it, if you're using this extension. But if you right-click on it, you get Webmail Compose.
Oh, and you can
then
compose it in one of your webmail accounts.
So if I want
That's
to
really
open
nice,
Gmail, then...
That makes Gmail so much more usable.
Yeah. Or Yahoo. So if I'm, not on my own computer, right, and so I can
that
just
makes
use
a big
my
difference.
own web
Well, a lot of people, frankly, use webmail as their main primary email.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this click won't work anymore. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. And or if you left click on it, you can also. Well, I use Gmail as my default.
So you can just set it to be the default.
Yes.
Love it.
And
all right, let's do your favorite. We got to do one more.
My favorite.
Because
okay.
Monica's favorite.
More info on the website. Anyway, the second one is called Gmail Notifier.
Yeah.
And what does is, if you look down at your status bar,
do? Yes. It tells you got mail.
It tells you if you have mail or not. Right now, I don't have any.
You've got Gmail.
But yeah.
And will you go right there if you click it?
Yeah. If you click it,
nice.
It'll open it up.
It's funny, Gmail is still not open to the public, and yet everybody has a Gmail account now. It's kind of amazing. People give away Gmail accounts like candy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. A couple of great extensions to Firefox. Get them on the website.
Yep.
callforhelptv.com for all of Monsters picks. Let's get another caller on.
Okay, we've got Tony from London, Ontario.
Time for me to walk. Hey, Tony. First, let me say hello to my good friend, Basil. How are you?
Basil.
It's a wonderful day. Oh! Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good, good.
So we left a
Good to see you
cat
back
food
on
dish
TV
here.
there.
Well, it's great to be back on TV. What can I do for you?
I've got a very simple question, but one that's been confusing me.
Yes.
I'm running 2 hard drives and 2 DVD ROMs. One's a burner and one's just a normal CD burner or ROM.
Right.
Well, the issue I've got, and I'm wondering, I'm running the 2 hard drives on one IDE channel, and I'm running the CDs on the second IDE channel.
Right.
I'm wondering, should I be mixing them up, or performance-wise, is that going to hurt anything? Or?
That's a really good question, Tony. I like it, by the way, how relaxed Tony is. You know, some people on TV, they get nervous. Not Tony. Tony's relaxed. He's calm. He's cool. He's collected. That's a really good question, and actually, there really is no perfect answer to this. In fact, you probably are thinking of it because when you run a burner like Nero and it sees that there are 2 drives, a CD and DVD recorder on the same chain, it'll say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. You should separate them. But what's worse, in my opinion, is to put a CD on the same chain as a hard drive. The IDE chain is, you have 2 IDE connectors in most motherboards nowadays because of RAID and other things. You may have more, but typically 2. And you have 2 cables. Each cable has 2 connectors. So you get a total of 4 IDE devices. So the question is it better to have your 2 hard drives together and your 2 CDs together, or to mix and match, have a hard drive and a CD on one cable and have another hard drive and CD on the other? Now, ideally, you should have a separate chain for each CD recorder. And the hard drives, it's okay if they're together. Since you have 2 CDs recorders, I would put the hard drives together and the CDs together. Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it. I think, in other words, the way you've got it. What about that, Andy? Do you have an opinion on that? Does it matter to you? The reason is because Nero will say, no, don't have 2 CD recorders on the same chain. That's terrible.
Yeah,
and it has to do with the fact that I think it has to do with the fact that they're both using Ultra DMA, and you can't bus master if you're both bus mastering devices or something like that. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along. But I think that's one of those things where if you're a perfectionist, but you're not a perfectionist. Have you had problems with your CD burning or your DVD burning?
Just actually that same issue you brought up with Nero.
Just that it complains.
I have talked to so many different people, and I get so many different answers. Like, oh, yeah, it's okay. But, no, it's not okay.
Well, it used to be more of a problem when you had Ultra DMA hard drives and then, old-style CD-ROMs, because, in fact, what would happen, you have a CD-ROM that's running in PIO mode, and you have an Ultra DMA drive. The Ultra DMA drive actually has to run in PIO mode to be compatible. And you can't have 2 different modes on a single cable. So that is a real problem. Then your hard drive slows down to nothing if it's running as a PIO drive.
Okay, well, it's not doing that, so
it's
it doesn't
not.
seem to be slowing it down.
Yeah, it's not, because most now CD recorders and players are Ultra DMA.
Yeah.
So, I think probably there's no difference. It doesn't matter at all. But I would say, just to be on the safe side, the most important thing to you is the performance of your hard drives. Keep them on their own chain. And the second most important thing is you get reliable reads and burns on your DVD and CD burner. If you're doing that, I think the way you've got it set up is exactly right, Tony.
Perfect.
All right.
That's all I needed to hear.
Say hi to my other friends down there. Oh, you're not in Jersey, are you?
Other direction.
I just thought maybe some of the gang was. I mean, never mind. Thank you, Tony. Take care.
No problem.
I'm just teasing you. Teasing you. They're telling me in the control room. Tell him he looks like Tony Soprano just a little bit. You ever get that?
Well, I am part Italian, and let's not go there.
So am I. I'm the same way. Thank you, Tony. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, when we come back, final words. I'm going to tell you how you can get a hold of us and be on the show when Call for Help continues. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, you don't want to get those made men out there.
No way.
If you only could see what happens in the breaks. Welcome back to Call for Help. What are you doing, Mike? Why are you climbing back there? Oh, he's switching over the computer.
Poor Mikey.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Lazaria. How do you say Lazazara. We couldn't do it without him. This guy is always like keeping everything working.
Yeah.
He really is the king of this show, actually.
Absolutely.
He's our head geek. Hey, we're going to actually say goodbye to a couple of people because Mike in the tape room is leaving us. This is his last day, and Katya. Mikey may be leaving today, too. I don't know. Right. And Katya, who is leaving us, and we want to thank you for your hard work. Was it something I said? I got bad breath? What? I'm chasing people. We've only been doing this show for a couple of months. No, it's a big channel. They work for other shows, too, but it's time for them to move on, so we thank you very much for your hard work. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun what a great bunch of people.
Oh. Yeah.
You've worked here for a long time, Monica. You like the people here, don't you?
Oh, everyone's great. We're
nice
like one big, happy family.
Yeah, we are. Especially Vac.
Especially Vac.
Big, anyway.
If only they could hear what goes on in our ears.
Oh.
No, we wouldn't be able to get on the air if we could put that on the show. Now, what do you got? You going to play some Doom here?
I'm trying to.
All right, we've got one of the things Mikey set up is we have a LAN going on in here, and we have a LAN party, and we're all playing Doom 3. And have you been playing this at home at all?
I haven't really had the chance
you remember when we said, it was a few weeks ago, we said that you can't, maybe it was more than that, when Doom 3 was first coming out, we said the people at ID say you can't play Doom 3 on a laptop.
Not true.
So I guess not true because she's playing it on a laptop. You want to get on the show, you saw the site right there, callforhelptv.com. That's the address. Go there, click on the questions button, ask your question. We'd love to get you on. Here are all the folks who make the show possible, including, of course, Mike and Katya, who we're going to miss. We thank you, though, because you're the one that makes this show. We don't want to miss you, so please, will you come back next time and join us for more Call for Help? Remember, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yell, don't play Doom 3. She's playing Doom 3! I told you not to! Just call for help. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
One day...